Okay peeps, this is such an exciting time because if you have hit this video, that means that you have finished the body of your raglan style top down jumper. Squeeze, so exciting. And the next step that we're going to do, because we have these cute, I actually think it looks super cute with these little short sleeves, but we are going to put the needles back onto the sleeves, and that way we can carry on and do our sleeves. And this is the cool thing, so there will be no seams. These are our only seams. There'll be no seams in here because we're just going to pick up the stitches. So what you will need for that is your 15 circulars again and some yarn. And how I like to do it, it's, oh, that's my little tie, pop that and pop him back in. You could be someone who weaves in your ends as you go along and one of those like type A people, but I am not one of those people. I do that at the end. Okay, so we are literally just going to transfer the stitches from the yarn onto our needle. So I like to do a couple at a time and then pull out the thread that I've used to hold it on. And sometimes they do get a little bit tight and you kind of do have to squeeze through, but remember we're always going to go from the right to the left. Okay. And because it's circular needles, it's kind of one way is the other way. But I like to, let's just for the sake of all doing it the same way, go from right to left. Okay, cool. So we're going through a couple at a time, just popping them on. We're just transferring them really. Okay. Do. Yeah, and you want to make sure that, because this is this single roving yarn, so even there I caught some yarn from the underneath stitch, don't know if you can see that, onto my stitch holder, so got to undo that. And the great thing about this yarn is it's pretty forgiving if you do little bits and bobs like that. Oh my god, I did it again. Money, don't. So just make sure you don't catch it again as you go through. Just want a nice clean, yeah, see that belongs to the guy underneath. Okay, we want a nice clean pick up here. Yeah, and if a stitch gets tight like that, you can just pull it back through to give you some space to go through. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you're getting to your last few stitches, very exciting. Pop them on, and we are going to pick up a few stitches around the bottom of the armpit, because if you remember we added a few in when we joined the front and back panels. So at the moment, oh, there's my last stitch, don't want to forget him. Where are you, mate? Oh, he's disappeared into the ether. I've got you. There he is. Okay, so if you get rid of your thread, and if you do your magic loop, oh, I want this to look all neat, guys. If you pull your magic loop through, now we are going to get some thread and we're going to pick up some stitches around here, which is the bottom of the armpit. Let me just sit down so I can do it. Okay, so you grab your thread and let's count the number of stitches on the needle, because we essentially want to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29. Okay, so ideally we would end up with an even amount of stitches so that when we go down, if we want to do some ribbing, it makes it easier for that. So I'm going to pick up 5 stitches as I go around here. So here I go. I'm just going to use my right needle, and I'm going to, so that's not a stitch. See, that's the edge of our, or the end of our beautiful raglan seam. So I'm going to not go in there, and I'm going to choose a stitch down here. I'm going to pick him up there. So I'm going to put my needle in from the front to the back, or from the right side to the inside, and I'm going to wrap some yarn around there, and I'm going to pull it through. Okay, and then I'm going to go, so I want to pick up 5, so I might skip this one and do the next one, 2, and we're looking for two little strands to go through. 3, see I've got 2 strands there, 3. You never want to go just through one strand because that's going through the inside of a stitch. Then let me see, if I'm going to do it nice and evenly, I won't do there, so it would be 4 and 5, so 4 and 5. So I've picked up 5 stitches under the armpit, and then I'm just going to start knitting. So knitting into that first stitch on the other side, and what would be smart, my friends, is to put a stitch marker in right here. So if you just have a proper stitch marker, obviously go with that. Otherwise you can just quickly make one by tying a bit of thread. So after you pick up the stitches under the armpit is where you would put your stitch marker. And then, guys, we start knitting. We're on Sleeve Island. Buckle up. But this is the home stretch. So we're going to knit down to essentially about 5 centimeters before the length we want the sleeve to end, and then we can make decisions as to the style of sleeve that we want to have, because there are options in the pattern. Okay, cool. Have fun. You've got this. Enjoy. See you soon.